There's 21 days left until Christmas, and Mama Bubbly the elf has decided to make a pineapple flan, which I've never done before. But my friend, who is pregnant, congratulations, girlie, asked me to make it for her. I usually make flan with cream cheese, but this time she did not want cream cheese and she wanted pineapple. So I was like, you know what? Let me give this a shot. Let's get started. You're going to need 5 eggs, condensed milk, evaporated milk, pineapple, and vanilla extract, and lastly, a cup of sugar. Pour the pineapple juice into a measuring cup. Put all the pineapples into a separate bowl. We're going to start with the caramel, which requires the 1 cup of sugar. I place my nonstick pan over medium heat. This is the pan that has not failed me when making caramel. Caramel is very tricky. So I put the 1 cup of sugar. I mix the pineapple juice before putting about 1/4 of a cup over the cup of sugar. Now your patience will be tested. You have to, at this point, wait and allow the sugar to do its thing. Allow it to dissolve in its time, avoiding stirring as much as possible. Towards the end, you'll find yourself needing to stir and mixing it more. But in the beginning, just allow it to dissolve. And as it dissolves, you'll be able to eye it and see, okay, I need a little stirring here, a little stirring there. The less you stir, the better. And to stir with a wooden spoon. Okay, do not stir with a metal utensil because the sugar will crystallize onto the metal. So make sure you use a wooden spoon or utensil. While the cup of sugar was caramelizing with the 1/4 cup of pineapple juice, I started the process of boiling water in my flanera. Now, this particular flanera is super old. I got it back in 2007 in my beautiful country, Dominican Republic, and I have loved it ever since. If you don't own a stovetop flanera, you can always use the Baño de Maria method, which would require you to use the stove at 350 degrees for about 90 minutes or until your toothpick comes out clean. So you're going to place a couple of pineapple pieces onto your mold, and then you're going to pour the caramel over the pineapples. So that's what I'm doing here, and it's a little tricky to record and do this at the same time, but you get the drift. Don't be like me in this part. Make sure you use your oven mitts whenever you're touching anything that has caramel. Caramel is very hot. As you can see, some of the caramel fell on top of the stove. But I wanted to show this just so you can see that these are the type of things that you can possibly expect while making caramel. So just be very careful. I grabbed my oven mitts and started making sure this is evenly distributed over the pineapples. Now we're going to work on the flan mix, and that requires 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks. So 3 whole eggs, 2 just yolks. Make sure you use separate bowl to capture the egg white. And then after you're done capturing the egg white, you pour the egg yolk into your bowl that you're putting the eggs in. Okay, so this is going to be the second egg yolk. Crack the egg, separate the egg white, and just pour in the yolk.
That's so gooey.
Now we're going to blend all of the ingredients. That includes all the eggs we just cracked, the evaporated milk, the entire can of the condensed milk, which is so delicious. Ooh, look at that. Que rico. 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla. Now let's get to mixing this bad boy. So as you can see, I went from my lowest setting to the highest setting as I mix this bad boy. We're about to have some fun.
Okay, we're gonna cook, guys. Let's start cooking. Yummy. That looks so good. Yum. Yummy, 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 yummy.
As you can see, we passed our mix into a mess strainer to get all the bubbles out. So I'm gonna put this now onto the boiling flanera, and please use a glove. Like, don't be like me over here putting up with heat. Mommy of 3 here, just trying to bake this beautiful flan, but let's do a voiceover because you're just gonna hear my kids, you know, being kids. So I basically just put the mold on top of the boiling water. Even though the caramel had crystallized onto the mold is still hot, so make sure you use your kitchen glove. Okay. Now you're going to add your flan mix onto the mold right on top of that crystallized caramel. Make sure you cover it with foil so that the heat does not escape. So you're going to make sure that you have it on low heat. I have mine here at level 2, and I put the flan in for an hour. So while the flan is going, I take my pan and I put it on heat again so that the sugar can loosen up and I can wash the pan. At 7 minutes shy of an hour, I said, let me go take a look at this flan right now. So I placed a butter knife in there, took it out, and I said, oh, it's ready. Let's go. So I let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I came back and I took the mold out of the flanera in order for the flan to rest at room temperature. Remember, the flanera is holding some steaming hot water. It's not going to cool down fast enough, especially if you have guests coming over. So just make sure that you take that into consideration and you practice safety when taking the mold out of a hot flanera. After letting it cool in room temperature for an hour and 10 minutes, I place the flan into the refrigerator for about 4 hours. I usually keep my flans in the refrigerator overnight, but since I had guests coming over, I took it out after 4 hours. I didn't get to record myself separating the flan from the mold, but you can basically use a butter knife to go around it, and that should do the trick. Once you finish doing that, you're going to take the plate of choice that you want your flan to be on. You're going to put it on top of the mold, and you're going to make sure that you have it secure. Have some confidence here now, and you're going to flip it, and that should do the trick. That you'll even hear it coming down, the deliciousness going on the plate. The look of this flan is not what I'm used to, but the taste was definitely up there. It was very delicious, and surprisingly, it was actually creamy. I'm used to having flan with 6 ounces of cream cheese, and that usually turns out to be deliciously creamy. I didn't use any cream cheese here, and it was actually creamy flan in its own way. So I thank my friend for recommending this recipe to me, this way of making it. Of course, adding the pineapples is a sweet touch. I really liked it, and I definitely would make it again. I would definitely recommend it, and I hope you try it. To store it back in the fridge, I just covered it with the mold. This video is already long, so I might as well give you this last tip. So the way that I take off the caramelized sugar from the mold is by pouring hot water over it. Mama Bubbly checking out. Thanks for watching.